Hi everyone, welcome back to Lola's Frugal Life podcast. Today we're going to talk about cleaning and if you think you might be spending too much time doing it. So if you're like me, I'm thinking some of you must do this too, but I sometimes wonder how the amount of time that I spend cleaning compares to others. Sometimes I might wonder if it takes me longer to do things than it takes other people, or I might think about if other people's homes are cleaner than mine because they spend more time cleaning than I do, or I'll stress about things like the frequency of certain cleaning tasks and if I should be doing things more or less frequently. I know that I should not be spending any time stressing over these things about the amount of cleaning that I'm doing, but the reality is sometimes I do. So recently I started a new cleaning routine where I spend 3 hours on Saturday morning doing all of my major cleaning for the week, like the big things. Like I do both of my bathrooms. I only clean one shower and tub of the two bathrooms every other week because I don't do the shower every week anymore. I used to, but I just felt like it didn't really need it. So I scaled back a little bit there to spend time on other things. And then our downstairs bathroom is like a stand-up shower, and I don't have to clean that in that 3-hour time slot because I actually do that one during the week. Like each day when I'm in the shower, I clean one wall. I have like a little brush in the bathroom with vinegar and soap, dish soap in it, and I use that to scrub one wall per day, and then I do the floor on one of the weekend days, so I don't have to do that one. So of the two bathrooms, I'm really only cleaning one shower and tub every other week. When I'm done with that, I load any dishes that need to go into the dishwasher, I deep clean the sink, and then I deep clean the stovetop, and then I dust my kitchen ceiling fan. The reason I specifically have dusting the kitchen ceiling fan in that group of tasks rather than just part of kind of zone cleaning type tasks is because I just got a new ceiling fan, and the way it's designed, it's kind of almost it doesn't look like chicken wire, but that's kind of how I can describe it. It's like a caged fan, and I really love it. I just finally got it. It's brand new. My son put it up. He's studying to be an electrician, and he installed it for me, so I was so excited. But what I didn't think of it is because it's like that chicken wire type design that I'm really, really nervous of it getting caked with oils and dust and stuff from being literally right over where the stove area is, because it's kind of right behind and up, behind the stove. So if I'm standing at the stove, obviously it's behind me. It's in the center of the kitchen, but it's right by the stove. So I'm just so worried of it getting gross and being really hard to clean that I make sure every single week as part of my regular cleaning routine, I do that. And then once I'm done with those chores, then I'll just do a variety of things that I have listed in my cleaning app, usually in order of what needs to be done most, which is usually what I'm most behind on. It's not I'm oh yeah, that needs to be done every 3 weeks, let me do that today. No, it's usually oh, that was supposed to have been done based on my schedule. If I say something needs to be done every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month, 2 months, whatever, I'm usually way behind what that time frame was that I thought I would put in my app. So then I'll usually just kind of see okay, well, what's most past due, and I'll do that next. Those might be things like cleaning out the fridge, cleaning the microwave, the water cooler, mopping floors, or some days I might have more time for I might have to do some more time-intensive tasks that I just, might have time for, so I'll do those. But in reality, I probably get plenty done, and I can make more progress next cleaning session. But it's still, I guess what I'm trying to say is that sometimes when I have more time-intensive tasks, I don't get that many of the other things done. If I'm doing a real deep clean of the fridge, or if I'm, really going through, I don't know, my laundry room and just really kind of cleaning it out thoroughly. If I'm doing a more time-intensive task in that extra amount of time I have after my main things are done, I'm obviously not going to get as many other things done. And then I might think oh, well, I'm not really keeping up here. And I might think, are other people keeping up better than I am? And then I feel like, you know what, I have to remind myself, I still got all of these things done. I got a lot done, and I can get more done next week, and over time it'll all kind of like catch up and even out. But either way, it still got me thinking about how the amount of time I'm cleaning might compare to others. So I decided to Google the other day, average times spent cleaning house. And interestingly, I found a survey done by the American Cleaning Institute. So it seems like it's kind of like a trade group related to cleaning products. And I didn't honestly dig into too much of who they are or what they do, but I found that the survey results were pretty interesting. In the survey, they indicated that the average number of hours we clean is 6, with parents spending 7 hours per week on average. So when I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh, my 3 hours is really low compared to the survey results. But then I had to think there's other things to consider. So I was only including my devoted 3-hour cleaning time slot when I looked at how much time I was spending cleaning. But the thing is that there's other things that I do that I was not including in my 3 hours that I'm sure are obviously included in those 6 to 7 hours of total cleaning that are included in the survey. Like, for example, I do laundry throughout the week as needed. Like, if I see laundry needs to be done, I just do it. I go throw a load in, I set a timer, go throw it in the dryer, set another timer, fold it and put it away. Sometimes I don't always fold. I always fold it when it's done. Sometimes I don't put it away as soon as it's done. Sometimes I'll put it away that night. Sometimes I'll put it away the next day. If it's really crazy, it might be a couple of days. But either way, I'm pretty good with keeping up on laundry. For the most part, I wash it, dry it, and usually put it away the same day as it's needed. So I'm guessing I probably do like 2 to 3 loads of laundry maybe per week. It kind of just depends on how much is going on. I don't do my kids' laundry. They do their own, so all 3 of my kids do their own, so I'm really only doing my own laundry. But anyway, so I do laundry through the week as needed, and that time I did not include in that 3 hours. I also didn't include daily chores like doing dishes after dinner, wiping down the kitchen counters, running a vacuum, or sweeping. So when adding in all of those other things, I think that while I might still be a bit less than the time noted in the survey, I feel like what I'm doing seemed pretty reasonable compared to the amount of hours that the survey determined, especially since that's on average. So there's definitely people spending less, and then obviously other people spending more. So the thing that's most important though is I'm pretty good with the results that I'm getting, and I'm not really looking to expand the amount of time I spend cleaning to be closer to the average. I just wanted to, I guess I just kind of for myself needed to feel like I wasn't like ridiculously low compared to the average, which again, I know it doesn't matter, but it's just one of those things that I do think about sometimes. So another couple of things that were just interesting just to share with you that were included in the survey was one of the things that they asked was things that people worry about related to cleaning. Now, when I tell you these percentages, they do not add up to 100%. So I'm guessing how they did it was that, you know, you could choose like maybe your top 2 things or top 3 things that you worry about when cleaning. So it's kind of like how many people answered this question rather than like a breakdown of 100% of what people worried about most. So the results were 38% worried about preventing illness or allergy symptoms, 34% said whether I'm cleaning frequently enough, 32% said areas in my home that I should be cleaning, and 31% said whether I'm cleaning correctly. So for me personally, honestly, I'm never really worrying about preventing illness or allergy symptoms. That's just me. It's just not something I think about when I'm cleaning, but I know that that's definitely a lot of people. That was actually the highest percent. So I'm not in the majority with that one, but it's just not something I think about. I don't know why. I'm not super like, I don't know. I've just never been like a super germy person, like, you know, like avoiding germs that much. Not that I want to purposely encounter germs. It's just not something that I really think about that much. Anyway, but definitely with the whether I'm cleaning frequently enough, that's definitely something I definitely think about often. and then areas of my home that I should be cleaning. Because I always feel like I get like the big normal stuff done, like the bathrooms and the sink and the stove and the floors and things like that. But then I'm like, well, should I have cleaned that corner in the basement? Or, you know, I just think about these weird random things like, how do people keep up on all these other random areas? And are there areas that I'm missing that I'm not thinking of? But so anyway, I just thought it was interesting that I'm not the only one that thinks those things. And then similarly, they asked, what do people dread most? In the same type of way they questioned, I'm guessing, because again, these do not add up to 100%. So people must have been able to choose multiple things that they dread the most. So 52% said cleaning the bathroom, 23% said cleaning the kitchen, 21% said dusting, 20% said mopping, 17% said doing the laundry, and 17% said doing the dishes, and 9% said sweeping. So again, for my personal, so I don't really dread cleaning the bathroom. I feel like it's pretty simple. I don't know. I don't really have too much of a hard time cleaning the bathroom, but except for the fact that what I dread about cleaning my bathroom, my upstairs bathroom, is that's the bathroom that my daughters use. And even though they have bins to put their stuff in and lots of places to keep their things, they oftentimes run out of the house and leave like a gazillion things all over the sink. So usually there's like a lot of straightening up before I can start to clean the bathroom. So that's the one thing that I dislike about the bathroom. But cleaning the bathroom itself, I don't know. I don't think it's that bad for me personally. But that was definitely the biggest, the most people. That one was the highest at 52%. Cleaning the kitchen, that was the next highest. I don't really mind that too much either. If it's just like regular cleaning, this like scrubbing the sink or scrubbing the stove, wiping down counters and things like that, I don't mind that. Dusting, I don't love dusting only because it usually involves like moving things around and it can get kind of tedious and annoying, and I never feel like I really dust that well. Like, I don't know if it's the way I do it, but a lot of times I try and just use like a damp microfiber cloth and then I follow it immediately with like a dry microfiber, or I do have one of those like Swiffer dusters, but I just always feel like as soon as I dust, I see dust again. I know I do live in like kind of like an exceptionally dusty area, I guess, or whatever. My house just gets dusty quick. Plus we have pets and stuff, so I don't know, but I feel like I don't dread the chore. I just feel like I don't get the results that I would like to see. Mopping was only 20%, and that's the one I dread. I cannot stand mopping. I guess because I feel like I always have too many things that I have to move, which I don't feel like moving. Like in the kitchen, I have like a water cooler and I have like an ice maker that's like on a stool. So like I have to move those. I have to move the kitchen table and the chairs out of the way. Like, I don't know. I just feel like mopping is so annoying. So I thought that it was kind of interesting that that one was only 20%. And that's something that I really can't stand to do. So I guess I'm way in the minority on that one. But anyway, so those were kind of those were the results from the survey. But then, in some ways it's good to know how much time other people spend cleaning their homes compared to what we do. But if you feel bad about the amount of time you spend cleaning, thinking that others must have better ways of doing things, it can be good to know you're spending about the same time as others by seeing the survey. So it can be helpful. Sorry, there might be like a weird edit right there, but I was recording and I forgot I had an alarm set on my phone. And when an alarm goes off on my phone, it stops me recording. So anyway, I was just saying, it can be helpful if you were kind of feeling bad, thinking that you don't spend enough time cleaning, and then you see, oh, well, everyone else is doing about the same. So then you might feel better, like, all right, I'm kind of average. But if you find out that others seem to be spending a lot more time cleaning than you, it might make you feel like you're not doing enough. And there's really not any reason to believe that's the case, because everyone has a different situation. Like pretty much with everything, we all have different things going on in our lives. Someone with kids that are generally pretty tidy is going to have a different experience than someone who has really messy kids. People who live alone or with only their spouse won't need to spend as much time cleaning as a family with many members coming and going all the time. People with pets are going to spend more time cleaning than those without. And even within people that have pets, there's going to be differences too with the messes that those pets make. Animals that shed a lot are going to create a lot more cleaning than those that don't. So these are just kind of like a few examples of different life situations that could cause the amount of time needed to clean our homes to be different from what others do. And I guess the point is just that you shouldn't judge the amount of time you spend cleaning to what others do without considering that there are a lot of other factors that are going to impact the amount of time needed to clean any particular home. So the most important factor to consider when thinking about how much time you spend cleaning is the way you feel about your home. You're the one that lives there in your home every day. You have to be the one that's happy with the results of your cleaning routines. So of course, a certain amount of time is going to be required to clean your home no matter what. That's just part of being a person who lives in a home. But if you decide that you feel comfortable with as far as the state of your home, that's the most important thing. Like, you have to feel comfortable that you're good with how your home is. If you want your home to be absolutely spotless at all times, then you have to consider what you're going to need to give up to achieve that result. If you notice the tops of your cabinets are getting a bit dusty and you're totally okay with letting it go for a couple of weeks until you get around to it, then don't worry about the fact that someone else might think that that should be done sooner. We don't want to fall too far behind on things, because then it does wind up taking longer to get them cleaned once we get around to it. But we need to decide what we're okay with letting slide for a little bit when we want to use that time to enjoy more important things in our lives. So as long as you're happy with what you're getting done, then you're good. You just, if you're feeling like, you don't like the way your house looks, you don't feel it's clean enough, then maybe that's where maybe you could kind of look into some ways to get more things done more effectively, or look for other ways to do it, or see if you can free up a little bit more time in your life to clean. But if you're happy with the results of your home and you're the one living in it, then I would say you're spending plenty of time cleaning. One thing I want to mention is that if you do feel like you're spending a lot of time cleaning, but you're not getting enough done, like the amount that you feel like you should be able to get done in a certain amount of time, one thing is just to consider how long certain things take. Because even like I said, with that 3-hour time slot, I thought I would be able to get so much done, but I wasn't really considering just getting like the bathrooms done and the dishes and the scrubbing the sink and the stove. Like, that takes up a good chunk of time. So think about how much time these things actually take, and be realistic about how much you can really get done in whatever time slot you've allotted. But then also, regardless of how much time we think we should spend on cleaning our homes, there are things we could do to make better use of that time that we do have available for cleaning. And what I find to be the most helpful to save time cleaning is to have a plan. Your plan can include regular cleaning tasks that you have developed routines for, and then other cleaning tasks that are done on a less regular basis. So for example, my cleaning routine each Saturday, like I said, includes cleaning the upstairs bathroom, cleaning the downstairs bathroom, loading the dishwasher, cleaning the sink, the stove, and then the fan. So those tasks, I do them in exactly that order each week when I do my cleaning routine. I don't waste time figuring out what to do when I start cleaning, or which tasks to do next when one is complete. I just consider those tasks part of my plan as the routine part of that plan. So I get up, I go right to this bathroom, to that bathroom, up to the dishes, clean the sink, stove. So I'm not like doing the bathroom being like, okay, let me think, what should I do next? Should I go load the dishes? I don't know, maybe I should go do the bathroom. No, I go right from one to the other. So having a plan and creating those routines and just going right from one thing to the next definitely saves time, because you're not taking time to think about each task in between. But those are just like the routine tasks. That's like what I do every single week. But then there's other tasks that are different every week. It could be things like cleaning windows, washing curtains, mopping floors, cleaning pet bedding. The list can go on and on. There's so many different things you could do on any given week of like those random type tasks that get done periodically. But the point is that certain things are only done occasionally. So in order to figure out what you're going to do for those, what I find the best is to just look at my app that I keep that has a list of all the things that I need to do, and create a list of what I'm going to try and complete during my cleaning time after those routine tasks are done. That way, once I'm done with those, I can just move right on to the next item instead of finishing scrubbing the stove or doing the fan or whatever, and then sitting down and being like, okay, let me take a look at my app. Let me see, what should I do? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? I'm not sure. I don't know if I have enough time for that. And just kind of sitting there thinking, where if I already have things down on a list, I can just jump right into those tasks and just keep moving until I run out of time. So having a plan really definitely helps keep you moving and gets things done more efficiently. And you can also think through, rather than trying to decide at the moment, like you can kind of consider what tasks go well together. Like maybe certain things are in the same area of your home, so you could just go from one to the other, or maybe certain things use the same type of cleaning tools. So for whatever reason, if you just sit down and put a little thought into those tasks that you want to do that are kind of like your extra things, it can be better than trying to take that time to decide during your actual cleaning routine. So that's all I have to say about this. So to answer the question, are you spending too much time cleaning? That's something that you have to answer. But the point is more that it's really something that you have to be comfortable with, and knowing that you're doing what you think you should be doing and what you feel comfortable with, and not worrying about what other people are doing, because everyone has different ideas on what a clean home is, and you have to make sure that you're not devoting more time cleaning than you really need to be doing or want to be doing, and giving up on time that you could be spending on other things in your lives that you really enjoy. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you back here next week. So thank you for checking in for this podcast episode, and don't forget, you can always email me with any questions or suggestions at lolasfrugallife@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at lolasfrugallife. And you can find a blog post for most of my episodes, and definitely all of my meal plan episodes, at lolasfrugallife.com. You can also join our private listeners group at facebook.com/groups/lolasfrugallife. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen from. And I would love it if you would screenshot the show and tag me on Instagram so I could see you're listening. Also, if you can please take a couple of seconds to rate and review the podcast. Those ratings and reviews are what help the show come up better in search results so that other people can find this podcast. So that will really help me in growing my audience. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an awesome day.